They say if you see her 3 times in one night, you'll never leave Bradley Woods alive. Emily Carter was about to find out if the legend was true. The storm had come out of nowhere, turning the motorway into a death trap. Emily's hands gripped the steering wheel as the radio crackled with warnings. All drivers avoid the M6. Severe flooding reported. Seek alternative routes immediately. Brilliant, Emily muttered, taking the next exit. Her phone's GPS flickered, then died. Of course it does. The narrow country lane appeared like a salvation. A weathered sign read, Bradley Woods, 8 miles. She'd never heard of it, but anything was better than being stranded on the motorway. That was her first mistake. 5 minutes into the woods, Emily saw her for the first time. A figure in black stood beneath an ancient oak tree, completely still despite the howling wind. A woman, dressed head to toe in a Victorian morning gown, her face obscured by a dark veil. Emily's foot eased off the accelerator. Something felt wrong. The woman didn't move, didn't acknowledge the car's headlights sweeping over her. She just stood there. Probably just someone whose car broke down, Emily reasoned, though her voice shook. She drove past slowly, glancing in the rearview mirror. The woman was gone. Emily's heart skipped. She'd been there just a second ago. No one could disappear that quickly. Get a grip, Emily, she whispered. You're tired. Your eyes are playing tricks. But her hands wouldn't stop trembling. The second sighting came 3 miles later. This time, the woman stood directly in the road, her back to Emily's approaching car. The same black dress. The same Victorian veil. But now Emily could see her hands, pale as marble, hanging limply at her sides. Emily slammed the brakes. The car stopped just meters away. Hello? Emily called through the closed window. Are you all right? Do you need help? No response. The woman didn't turn around. Emily's pulse thundered in her ears. Every fiber of her being screamed to reverse, to get away, but she couldn't just leave someone stranded in a storm. She cracked the window open. Miss, can you hear me? Slowly, impossibly slowly, the woman's head began to turn. Not her body, just her head, rotating like a screw until Emily could see the side of her face beneath the veil. And then she was gone, vanished like smoke. Emily's scream caught in her throat. She threw the car into reverse, tires spinning on the wet road, and sped forward, her entire body shaking. That's twice, a voice seemed to whisper in her mind. One more time, and you're mine. Emily's breath came in ragged gasps. This couldn't be real. This was exhaustion, stress, maybe she'd fallen asleep at the wheel and this was all a nightmare. Then her headlights caught something ahead. A small cottage, windows glowing warmly against the darkness. Smoke curled from its chimney. Thank God, Emily sobbed, pulling into the gravel driveway. She ran to the door and pounded desperately. Please? Someone help me. The door opened immediately, revealing an elderly man with kind eyes and a concerned expression. Good heavens. Child, come in, come in. You look terrified. Emily practically fell through the doorway. The warmth of the cottage embraced her like a blanket. A fire crackled in the hearth. The smell of tea and biscuits filled the air. I saw. There was a woman in black. Emily stammered. The old man's expression darkened. He gently guided her to a chair by the fire. The black lady, he said quietly. You've seen her, haven't you? Emily nodded, tears streaming down her face. How many times? TW twice. The old man exhaled with relief. Then there's still time. You're safe here, child. She can't enter this house. My grandmother blessed it a century ago when she first appeared. Who is she? Emily whispered. The old man settled into his chair, his face grave. Her name was Eleanor Blackwood. In 1847, she was traveling through these woods to her wedding when her carriage overturned in a storm. She died mere hours before she was to be married. They say her spirit can't rest, forever searching for the church she never reached. But why does she appear to people? She's not trying to harm anyone, he said softly. She's lost, confused. She died so suddenly, so violently, that her spirit doesn't understand it's over. When she appears 3 times, it means she's trying to take someone with her, not out of malice, but because she's desperate not to be alone. Emily felt a wave of sadness wash over her fear. That's tragic. It is. But there's a way to help her. And help yourself. The old man explained that Eleanor's grave was just beyond the woods, in an abandoned churchyard. If Emily could place a white rose on her grave and speak her name with compassion, Eleanor would finally understand she was dead and could rest. But I'd have to go back out there, Emily said, her voice small, only to the edge of the woods. My cottage borders the old churchyard. You won't have to drive that cursed road again. Emily looked into the fire, thinking of the lonely spirit trapped in an endless loop of confusion and grief. Despite her terror, her heart ached for Eleanor. I'll do it, she said finally. The old man gave Emily a white rose from his garden and a lantern. Together, they walked through his back garden to a crumbling stone wall. Beyond it lay the forgotten churchyard, headstones leaning like broken teeth. Emily found Eleanor's grave easily. It was the only one with fresh black roses growing around it, as if the earth itself mourned. She knelt and placed the white rose gently on the weathered stone. "Eleanor Blackwood," Emily said softly, her voice steady now. "You don't have to search anymore. You don't have to be afraid. Your journey is over. You can rest now. You can finally rest." The wind died instantly. The rain stopped mid-fall, droplets suspended in the air like crystal. And then Emily saw her for the third time. But this time was different. Eleanor stood before her grave, her veil lifted. Her face was young and beautiful, but infinitely sad. Tears rolled down her ghostly cheeks as she looked at Emily with profound gratitude. She mouthed 2 words, "Thank you." Then she knelt, touched the white rose, and dissolved into 1,000 points of light that drifted upward into the clearing sky. The storm clouds parted, revealing stars that seemed to shine brighter than before. Emily felt warmth flood through her. Not fear, not cold, just peace. The old man was waiting for her at the garden gate, smiling. "You did it, child. You freed her. That's the bravest thing I've seen in all my years." Emily spent the night in the cottage's guest room. By morning, the roads were clear, and the sun shone brilliantly over Bradley Woods, which no longer seemed sinister but simply peaceful. Before she left, the old man gave her one last gift, a small silver locket. "This belonged to Eleanor. I've kept it all these years, hoping someone would finally help her rest. I think she'd want you to have it." Inside was a faded photograph of a young woman with hopeful eyes, dressed in black, ready for her wedding day. Emily drives through Bradley Woods often now. She's never seen the Black Lady again, but sometimes, on quiet nights, she swears she can hear a whisper on the wind. "Thank you, friend. Thank you for setting me free." And Emily smiles, knowing that sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is show compassion to those who frighten you. Because behind every ghost story is a human story. Behind every horror is a heart that once beat with hope. The Black Lady of Bradley Woods finally found her peace. And Emily Carter found something too, the courage to face her fears and the kindness to help a lost soul find her way home.